Hi, my name is Karen James, and I'm the Assistant Director of the Career Development Office at MCC. I'd like to introduce you to my two colleagues here that you can see on the screen. Catherine Cosgrove, who is our Coordinator of Employer Engagement and Internships. Kathy, if you could just wave. And then Genevieve Morris is our Coordinator of Career Planning. Genevieve, just give a little wave. In a moment, they're going to formally introduce themselves and talk a little bit about what the work that they do at MCC. So I want to start out by giving you an overview of our website. So one moment while I do that. Okay, so here's our career service website. Take a moment. I just want to get you familiar with the website before we go further into some of the different services that we have. If you scroll down, actually, if you look over on the left, this is like our menu. If you're a current student, you can click here. And alumni, student employment, or transfer, academic advising. These are menus that can take you to different areas. But down here, you'll see that we have a link for career exploration. And in a moment, I'm going to actually show you the one that we use at MCC, Focus 2. But there's other links here. It's all about smart planning, how to set some goals, and some different resources for you if you want to spend some more time in career exploration. And then we have our job search tools. I'm not going to click in them right now, but we will be having some other videos that show these in more depth. So this talks about resumes, cover letters, interviewing skills. This is for employers. We have an internship link. So we have all kinds of internships. We have for credit internships. We have micro internships. So if you click on the internship button, it'll take you some different resources that we have. Employer spotlights. This is new to MCC in the last 18 months. Kathy can talk a little bit about that, but basically those are employers, local employers, talking about recruiting trends before COVID and then after COVID. And then we have these career ready tips. These are tips that resume tips, quick one-page sheets on LinkedIn, resumes, cover letters, how to network, how to set up a reference page that you can use to kind of get you started. And then student employment will take you to our student employment page, and Genevieve Morris is going to talk a little bit more about that when we get to that page. The next thing I want to do is I want to show you, let me stop sharing this for 1 minute. And I actually want to go in and spend a moment, if I can find it. Oh boy, all right. All right, and hopefully you can see the Focus 2 right now on the screen. Yes. So once you click on My Career Path Tools, and Kathy's going to show how you get to this when she speaks next. You don't need a login or a password. It's going to take you directly to your Focus 2 account because of single sign-on, and it'll say your name on the top, not my name. So this takes about 30 minutes to 45 minutes to do. It's a phenomenal career exploration tool because it looks at 5 different things, whereas most career planning exploration tools look at only your interest. The self-assessment part is down here. And so this looks at your interest, your personality, your leisure, your values, and your skills. And so then you can sort this assessment. And we have a longer video that you can look at our website that will be attached to the Focus 2 section of the website that will walk you through exactly how to interpret your Focus 2 results. But also we encourage you to set an appointment with us at any time, and we can actually walk you through the Focus 2. So that's just a very brief overview of the Career Service webpage, some of our resources, the Focus 2. And now I'm going to hand it off to Catherine Cosgrove, who's going to talk a little bit more in depth about some of our other services.
Great, thank you, Karen. As Karen mentioned, I'm Kathy Cosgrove. I'm the Coordinator of Employer Engagement and Internships at Middlesex Community College. As Karen previously showed you, one of our resources is Focus 2, and the resources that require or don't require additional logins, you could access by going into My MCC, like it'll look like your screen up here, and on the left-hand side, you'll see a tab that says My path tools, and it'll be a direct link to my career path tools. Once you click on my career path tools, it'll have those tools that are single sign-on, inclusive of Focus 2, as Karen just showed you, and then also a really neat tool called Handshake. Handshake is used by, and I'll show you what, when you click on Handshake, Handshake is used by all Massachusetts four-year state schools and the majority of Massachusetts community colleges. It's also used by the majority of private institutions throughout the country. And it's important for you to know that, because if you master Handshake while at Middlesex, it'll be one less thing for you to worry about. If you're thinking about transferring, it'll be a tool that you're already familiar with. So Handshake is not just a job search tool. It's really all things career. So it could be for exploring careers or companies. It could also be for looking for actual jobs. The one thing that most students don't appreciate is the fact that Handshake is not just used by students, but it's also used by employers to locate students who meet their qualifications. And we strongly recommend that when you have an opportunity to complete your profile in Handshake, and then if you choose to make it visible, and once you make it visible, the Handshake community is able to see it. And that the community exists of over 7 million Handshake school users, as well as employers too. You could control the settings of your profile to be private whenever you wish. And that's all done as far as building your profile. It's done up here in the right-hand corner. It'll be your initials. So those CC does not stand for Career Center. It stands for Kathy Cosgrove. It will be your initials that appear here. All right, and you'd click on it and you go to My Profile. You'd build it in a very similar fashion as you'd build any kind of other social media profile, LinkedIn, or even, go back to Facebook, how you build your profile on Handshake. Same idea, it's pretty intuitive. But if it's not obvious to you on how to build your profile, that would be a great example about why you'd want to schedule an appointment with one of our team members. So the first thing I'd suggest you do is to build your profile to make yourself a little bit more appealing to employers who may be looking for talent, and also for other students to connect with. Also, as far as connecting, just like any other social media, we want you to be responsible when you're connecting and professional as well. Handshake is the college version of LinkedIn. All right, it's meant for networking with employers and other students on Handshake in a professional manner. And again, if you need assistance with how do you connect professionally, that's where our office can assist you. As far as looking for jobs on Handshake, it's pretty much, and it's right here, my profile is not updated, so you'll get gentle reminders from Handshake to update your profile. Jobs, by clicking the tab, you'll see that there's jobs. Now, as Karen mentioned earlier, there's jobs, and then she also mentioned student employment. So student employment, what that really means is on campus meaning here at Middlesex Community College. And so if you're a student who prefers to, do everything here at Middlesex, we do have opportunities, not only, to take classes, but also to work. And our next speaker is going to speak a little bit more in depth about student employment. But if you're looking for it, you'd go there. As I mentioned, Handshake is used throughout the country. So it's really important if you do a search to make sure you narrow your search by the location you wish to acquire a job from. So if you went ahead and did Lowell, and be careful, there's more than one Lowell, Massachusetts. I mean, more than one Lowell out there, as you can see, it's throughout the country. And you want to make sure, if you want to stay close to Lowell, Mass, make sure you choose that one. And also you have control over the distance as well. You could set those settings. For those students who say you want to gain experience before you graduate, which we highly recommend that you do, you could find an internship. Most of our internships are paid, but there's also going to be unpaid ones. If you want to look for a paid one, you could go to internship and then go to the filters. And this is true not just with internships, but if you're only looking for paid jobs, make sure you go to the all filters and do paid roles only. Most college students do enjoy payment for working or internships. The other thing that's really important to know about on Handshake is that it's a platform that employers are using, especially during COVID, to host events. So as you can see, we have a lineup of events that it's not just Middlesex events. So we have a fair coming up in November, but there's also local employers and employers throughout the country that offer virtual events on Handshake. None of the events that are posted on Handshake should cost you anything other than your time. All right. And so basically, if you're interested, for example, in one of them, you'd click on it and you want to learn more. By clicking on it, it does not commit you. It just, you learn more about the event. You hear who's sponsoring it, what it's all about. There's a brief write-up. And then if you wish to go ahead and register, you'd click the link. And some of the links are internal and some are external. Again, it will not cost you anything to register for an event on Handshake. The other neat feature of Handshake is connecting with employers. So if there's a particular employer that you want to learn more about, you could go ahead and put in an employer name. And all 100% of Fortune 500 companies are on Handshake. So if they're very large employers, chances are you're going to find them on here. And as you can see, with searching by Disney, there's quite a few of Disney affiliates. And if you're looking for the Walt Disney World Company, which is the one that's located down in Florida, in California, you'd go ahead and click on that. And you could learn a little bit more, not only about the employer itself, but it's really neat because there's students who've worked at Disney and they rate it and review it and give you some tips from students who've already worked there. Plus, many of the large employers also provide tips. It's almost like a study guide, for applying for jobs. So if any of you are familiar, back in elementary school or middle school, you received study guides. A lot of the employers provide that for you. And then also information if you want to research them a little bit more. All right, and if you want to also questions and answers, there's lots of question and answers. So this is about researching companies here too. The last feature I want to show you, and many students do struggle with building a profile. It's not the last, I fibbed. There's another feature I want to show you, but there is a feature here that if you're not quite sure about how to build your profile, when you go to your profile at the top and you want to get a sneak peek at what other students' profiles look at, you go all the way down here and you can go ahead and discover students like you across the Handshake network. And you can see what other students have done to build their profile. And it might be just a little bit less intimidating if you just look at Middlesex students. There's many students out there like yourself who have walked in your shoes and have attended Middlesex already and have completed their profiles. And because they have made their profile public, you can view it. So when you're ready, when your profile's looking really good to show it to others, you too can make it public. And you might find that, another Middlesex student will reach out to you or view your profile for assistance on building theirs. The last feature, and whenever you want to go home in Handshake, you just would click on those two people at the top appearing to shake hands, but they're probably bumping elbows. You'd want to go there. And if you want to schedule an appointment, you'd go to Middlesex Community College Career Center. This feature will not be updated to schedule an appointment until after the start of the school year. So basically, once the academics begin on September 9th, you'll be able to schedule an appointment through Handshake. And you click on appointments. And then from there, you go schedule an appointment. And you would know if you're a first-year student at Middlesex or a second-year student, that's the category you'd fall in. Alumni will have a separate category. And then you'd click on that and just read over, what the type of appointment there are. If you need help with a cover letter, go to cover letter, don't go to resume. Kind of like when you schedule an appointment for a doctor's office, you kind of tell the doctor why you're coming in there. You don't want to say that you hurt your hand and go in with a broken foot. All right, same idea. We want to prepare to meet with you. So the more accurate you are in letting us know why you're coming to see us, the better prepared we are to assist you. And so there's a variety of different appointment types you can choose from. In the meantime, when you don't schedule an appointment through Handshake, the best way to schedule an appointment with one of our team members is by emailing careerservices@middlesex.mass.edu. And you just, again, request an appointment and give us a heads up about what type of an appointment it is and provide us with a few days and times that most readily accommodate your schedule. And so I'm going to now pass it over to Genevieve. She's going to talk a little bit about student employment here at Middlesex Community College.
Oh, great. Thanks so much, Kathy and Karen. So as Kathy just mentioned, one of my key responsibilities at the college is running student employment. So I'm going to show our student employment website. So it will be really easy for you to find. And Karen had already showed one place that you can look on the Career Services website. It's the main place that you can first find it, and you look on the left-hand side to see it. So this is the student employment website. There's all sorts of resources that are located here for you to find a job on campus. Kathy already pointed out where you can find the jobs on campus, but I'm going to show you again how to find that. If you need to figure out how to create a handshake profile, here's some information. We have a student employee manual in case you do have more questions on that. We have some student employment training that I'll talk about in a second. But here's all the sorts of information that we provide for you if you are interested in becoming a student employee. Student employment includes both federal work study and non-work study jobs. If you don't know if you are eligible for federal work study, you can just connect with the financial aid office and they'll be able to assist you with that directly. As we mentioned before, that you can find all the student employment jobs on Handshake. If you are applying for a student employment job, you will need to submit a resume and cover letter. That may sound intimidating, but if you don't have one or you want to update it, we're here to help. That's one of the things that we can help you with, and that we can show you how to post that. So I'm going to switch over to Handshake. So we do see student employment as a great opportunity. If you're not sure about it, here's just some reasons why becoming a student employee would really be for your benefit. You can develop skills for any future jobs that you may have. Often these jobs do provide some flexibility because you're learning on campus, but also you're working on campus. So you can have some flexibility in between your classes. It's also a great networking opportunity. A lot of students, you're interacting with professionals, your supervisors could be references for later on when you're trying to gain further employment. We also have, last year, for the first time, Middlesex entered the Student Employee of the Year, and actually a fellow student won for the state of Massachusetts. And that's a great resume builder for any student that, that if you get nominated and receive that award, that you can add to your resume. So here is the, here's where you can search for jobs. Again, you would click for any on-campus employment, whether it be work study or non-work study. You click on campus and it brings up, oh, I had already clicked on campus. So you click on campus and then it shows all the various on-campus employment. Then you would hit apply. It also lists all of the information that you need. This one in particular is asking for work study students, and it gives all of the various qualifications that you would need. The various job functions, definitely review all of these before applying. And again, if you need assistance with this, we're here to help with that. The last opportunity that I just want to mention is about the professional development opportunities that we have for workshops coming up in the fall. This would include how to build a professional resume and adding the student employment experience to that resume, because it is a professional opportunity that we want to have incorporated in that. And we're also offering a two-part workshop that would both identify the skills and professional skills that you may have, and how to build them to more align with what employers are seeking, because we all want to get a job in the area that we have a major in, that ultimately we know that you're seeking, to know what other employers are looking for. And so our goal is to make sure that you're career ready and that you're most prepared for that career that you're ultimately seeking. So again, if you are looking for a job on campus, you do it via Handshake. And if you do have additional questions, Kathy had shown where to actually choose the student employment option in Handshake once that is up. But again, you can email us at careerservices@middlesex.mass.edu. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'll just turn it back over to Karen James to wrap us up.
Okay, thank you, both of you. As you can see, we have a lot of resources at Middlesex. We're spread out on different campuses, so we cover both the Bedford and Lowell campus. Please email us or go to Handshake, set up an appointment. We look forward to working with you from the beginning of your career at Middlesex when you're looking at majors and thinking about what careers go to majors, and we can help you start getting some of that experience either through student employment, internships, job on campus, through our Spark program. Lots of opportunities to get you some experience and network. So we wish you well, and please come see us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.